Distinguished guests, we're about to start now. A good morning and a very warm welcome on behalf of Africa Investor to the 2015 Africa Investor CEO Investment Summit held in association with Thomson Reuters. We're delighted to be hosting this important gathering on the eve of government leaders meeting at the Sustainable Development Goals Summit during this 70th anniversary of the United Nations. We have a very busy schedule to get through today, a very packed agenda. Today's program will comprise 8 sessions and over 40 authoritative discussion leaders and the Africa Investor Business Leader Awards presentations, which will take place later on in the day, and of course, in between, lots of networking opportunities. The CEO Investment Summit ultimately brings together African business leaders, international investors, development finance institutions, and regional organizations and policymakers to review factors and set the agenda on improving Africa's investment climate, intra-African trade and global trade competitiveness, and ultimately to explore concrete partnerships to increase the continent's prosperity and pursuit of the finance and development goals. Pursuant to that, we are again delighted to, of course, host our annual Africa Investor Heads of State Investment Advisory Council working lunch in partnership with the UN Office of the Special Advisor for Africa, the African Union, and the Global Partnerships Forum. I think as many of you know, Africa Investor firmly believes in the positive development contribution and role played by the private sector in African development, and we look forward to providing a platform for this continued and expanded activity. We have 3 main objectives for the day. Firstly, to deepen the private sector's engagement with the United Nations, with the World Bank Group, with the African Union and development finance partners, specifically on framing and pursuing and how we can sort of come together and achieve some of the goals set out in the SDGs, but in particular fostering alignment with the Financing for Development Action Agenda and the African Union's Agenda 2063. Second key objective for the day is really to share and promote African investment success stories through the AI Investment and Business Leader Awards, which will be presented later in the day. And thirdly, to shape the agenda for the AI Presidential CEO Investment Summit in 2016 that will be held in partnership with NEPAD and the African Union Commission during the January 2016 Heads of State Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. As ever, we greatly value and very much look forward to your input and leadership on partnerships that should be pursued to increase and deepen the private sector's participation and the investment community's engagement in Africa's transformative development agenda. Lastly, I'd like to thank all our partners and sponsors for making this event possible. Their names are on the brochure, and in particular to Thomson Reuters, our generous hosts and partners, for giving us their wonderful facilities and support. So without further ado, please allow me to pass you over to our host partner, Sneha Shah, who is the Managing Director for Sub-Saharan Africa at Thomson Reuters, to welcome you and make some opening remarks. Thank you.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.